Okay, this time we're doing something different. This won't be included in the rest of the playlist for the Cassette Beasts playthrough. I am going to just be making a bunch of characters because I'm going to be writing a fanfiction of my playthrough and I need a bunch of other characters to appear in it. So I'm just going to be making a bunch of characters and also explaining intersex variations that you just literally won't be told you have. So, long story short, if pap smears or pelvic exams, I'm in the United States, unfortunately. I think British people and maybe Australians call it something different, but it's a pap smear here. I think other people call them just pelvic exams, but if you've ever had one and it was extremely painful, you're probably intersex. Oh, that's the favorite color. Yeah. If you've ever had a pap smear that was extremely painful, you are probably intersex. There's a lot fewer skin colors here than I actually thought there were because I had to close my eyes the first time because of all the flashing lights and I just picked it random. Okay, I didn't know that. Alright. Yeah, okay, back to the topic at hand. If pap smears are extremely painful for you, you are probably intersex. Are there non-intersex explanations for painful or excruciating pap smears? Probably, but almost everyone that I have seen from looking up painful pap smears just comes back with at the end of the day saying that you're hysterical. Wish we could get some patterns on these. That would be cute. So, maybe I should explain a pap smear. This is not scripted, as you can probably tell, because I don't do scripts. A pap smear is where doctors have to check your cervix to make sure you aren't developing cervical cancer. So there's a tool called a speculum that they stick inside your vaginal canal, and then they can spread it so that they have a little lens and a flashlight so that they can see in, and then they collect cells with a little brush. And if you're parasex, this is not a painful procedure. And if you're intersex, it's probably going to be painful. It's not always if you're intersex, but if it is painful, you're probably intersex. Let's put it that way. It doesn't have to be painful, but if it is, you're probably intersex. We got cute little glasses. Clown nose. I will interrupt myself again. I wish they would just put this over here. I wish they, instead of spinning, it would just show like the one facing this way, the one facing that way, the one facing that way, just to show them so we don't have to wait for it to spin around to face forward again. We don't actually want a clown nose. I was just looking. Let's see what kind of eyeshadow. Let's do the heck of it. What's going on? Okay. Just pick a color. And when you have an extremely painful pap smear, the doctor who gives it to you won't usually, like 99 times out of 100, won't tell you, oh hey, sorry, you're intersex, my bad. They'll usually just blame you or tell you you're being hysterical. Well, that is also just a form of blaming you. They'll pretty much just say you're being hysterical. If they tell you anything, they'll probably tell you you have vaginismus, which just translates to you're being hysterical. Vaginismus is just a thing where your vaginal muscles tighten uncontrollably. And that's just what they say to everybody whose pap smear is painful. Even when all of the other explanations make much more sense. This doesn't really look like a face mask to me. I think the eye color in this game is glitched because I'm not... Oh, there is a single little pixel there. Wow, that's really hard to notice. Why is it all so dark? Okay. Right there. There's a single pixel of eye color. I'm changing that by accident. Wow. Yeah, that's glitched. I think that's supposed to... Hold on. What if we make it the that doesn't help either. I don't think they did that on purpose. This is not a very good video, but oh well. Okay. Sure, game, I'll just take your word for it that that's... What color is there? Face accessory color. We can have glasses. So yeah, if you're... Okay. This is just going all over the place because I don't have a script, because... Fuck it. If pap smears are extremely painful for you, then you should look into vaginal hypoplasia, hypoplasia, which is where your vaginal canal is smaller than is typical for people who are not intersex. We're just doing red and white, I guess. I feel like we need some other color, though. I kind of like that. We'll go with that. And I haven't actually thought of any names for these people, but I am just getting screenshots of them from the video afterward because Cassette Beasts doesn't have a screenshot mode. So this is one character who's gonna appear in my fanfiction. I'm just gonna close my eyes and push buttons at random now. Push your buttons at random. Okay, yeah. If your pap smear is painful for you, including if they are using the smallest speculum, then you probably have, well, maybe have vaginal hypoplasia, which is where your vaginal canal... Which part am I on? Okay, I can continue scrolling down. Okay, so here's another character, generated at random. I like the Nickelodeon colors. And the doctors just flat out won't tell you this, which is infuriating because you've probably heard of medical misogyny. Favorite color. Oh, we don't have wings yet. Maybe I should go out and get some wings and then we can design wings. So let's go get some... Do I even have a name right now? I don't know. Let's go get some wings. Okay, we'll just do this while I do this, so I can actually make characters with their wings and stuff. I don't even remember what I've said so far, but okay, that is a cute little default name. I'm just gonna skip past dialogue because this isn't a playthrough. We're just going over here to get wings. I think video games that have a simple character... Oh, yeah, I know. You don't gotta give me tutorials. I know what I'm doing. I was so confused for a second. Video games like this should just make their character creator a little... We get it. We know. Sorry. Thank you for the tutorial, but I don't need it. We got it. I got it. We're good. What was I saying? The tutorials interrupted me. Okay, let's do it this way. Not everybody who's intersex will have painful pap smears. And obviously not everybody who's intersex even needs pap smears. But if your pap smears are painful, then you probably are intersex. We got it, game. Thank you. We got it. What? Oh, I didn't collect the wood. I forgot there's a cache we're supposed to pick up while we're exploring, but I'm doing a little bit of a speed run just to get the character maker things, so we gotta go get that. Yeah, you're supposed to naturally find that before you go into town. Alright, I'll go over to the camp and then I'll continue talking. Just like me playing Alien Isolation, this is not very conductive for talking. But it is funner than just talking, so... You know, I think there is a randomized button on the character creation menu that I forgot about. The nice thing about this game is that while you are trying to record it, it won't die. So you can hit it with all you've got. And that actually improves your chances of recording it. Unlike Pokemon, where you can accidentally kill the thing you're trying to catch if you get a critical hit. Alright, we'll just get done this little tutorial, then we'll do the conversation, because I'm just getting distracted. And also, if you want a shorter video without distractions, you probably, I would say go find somebody else's, but there's probably no other ones like this, so you gotta make it yourself or wait until I make one where I'm not distracted. Now we get wings. Well, that's because there's a vent under us. Yeah, we get wings. Now we can go back. I will catch a traffic crab though, quick, so that we can have plastic in case we find a thingy. A bootleg while we're out here. Not that we're gonna be out here, but that's beside the point. Why am I getting so many good, like, extra uncommon stickers and stuff? We already got a blue one, and now we got a green one. Alright, maybe we should just fight a bunch of traffic crabs. And then I'll talk and we'll fight a bunch of at least 10 traffic crabs to get plastic so we can have tapes so we can do stuff. Otherwise, we will probably find a bunch of bootlegs and I won't be able to catch them and it'll be ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, not many more details I can give besides if pap smears are extremely painful for you, look up vaginal hypoplasia. There's actually an intersex wiki. It's literally like intersex.wiki.com, I think, maybe, something like that. Wait, we gotta catch the other one. And it has articles. You can also just look it up on, I think, regular Wikipedia. I guess, yeah, this is just not structured at all. So you're just getting random information at random while watching me speedrun-ish through Cassette Beasts. Yeah, okay. So vaginal hypoplasia means that your vaginal canal is smaller than in parasex people. Parasex means people who are not intersex. They are like the average and the quote-unquote normal. And everything is designed for them, which is why pap smears can be excruciating if you're intersex and have any number of variations. Now I'm just gonna fight them just to get the plastic from them instead of, okay, I'll fight these ones, and then we'll get whatever plastic we get from them, and then I'll go and buy more tapes. There's a strategy here. But yeah, for vaginal hypoplasia, the basic things is your vaginal canal can be narrower than normal, which seems to be the case for a lot of people, or like I think everybody that I've talked to so far who has said that their like pap smear was excruciating. But it can also mean that it is shorter, like less deep, shallow I should say, shallower than normal. We definitely need to rest because our health, we're little baby wimps. Oh, it feels empty in here. Okay, we got that many now. And your vaginal canal can be both shallow and narrow, or it can be either one of those two. And this can all cause pain with pap smears because for shallow ones, they're just, to be crude, jamming it in there way too fucking fast and hitting your cervix if you have a cervix, and that's painful. If it's narrow, it's obviously forcing something in that's way too big. There's also other things that can cause it. If you have hypospadias, which anecdotally is extremely common in people with vaginal hypoplasia, which I think is because of the vaginal hypoplasia. Hypospadias is where your vaginal canal, it's where your urethra is lower down than normal. So if you look at a diagram of a vulva online, you can just look up vulva health class diagram or something to get a middle school appropriate diagram. If you imagine it as an oval, at the top is that there is a clitoris. At the lower middle, there's the top of the vaginal canal, and then usually equal distance between those two is the urethra, which is where you pee from. But if you, we might die. We're gonna have to rest because I forgot to actually do that. Hopefully nobody hits Kaylee. Yeah. Whoops. Sorry, Kaylee. Actually, no, we're fine. We're good. I forgot about that. What was I saying before I got distracted by Kaylee dying? Fuck. Oh, hypospadias. Okay, hypospadias. You'll notice a lot of these are like Latin or Greek. I think hypo means like smaller usually, as opposed to hyper. Like think of hypothermia. It's where you're dying of the cold because you're too cold, so you are hypo, like low, thermic, meaning temperature, meaning low temperature. And then like, I can't think of any words that have hyper, but hyper means a lot, or high. She's talking to us. Nope, no, shush Kaylee. We're not getting distracted. Let's see what our wings look like, because I have no idea what color. Nice. So, what was I saying? Yeah, hypospadias. Hypospadias can also cause painful pap smears and painful penetration in general, because it means that your urethra, which has nerve endings, is a lot closer to your vaginal canal than it's typically, and it might also be literally inside your vaginal canal or right at the edge. And if it's inside, it can be called, it is called persistent urogenital sinus, because, I guess I will explain it, when you are a little itty bitty baby in the womb, everybody starts off with like just a single butthole, we'll say, for the sake of simplicity, where while you're still in the womb, You don't even breathe air yet. So it's all just a single exit hole for stuff. And that is called the urogenital sinus, or early on it's a cloaca, which is what birds have. And if that doesn't differentiate into separate vaginal canal, urethral opening for pee and stuff, and then anus for poop, that's called a cloaca. But and then if the urethra and vaginal canal don't differentiate, that is called a persistent urogenital sinus. Uro referring to urine, genital referring to, just it's the genital tract, reproductive thingy. So that is a form of hypospadias, but it's a more specific form of hypospadias. It's usually shortened to PUGS, P-U-G-S, so people don't have to type out persistent urogenital sinus every time. Hypospadias can, just mean that the urethral opening, where your pee comes from, is closer to the vaginal canal than is typical. Typically, it is like an equal distance between your clitoris, or at least the top of your vulva, and the top of your vaginal canal. But with hypospadias, it's way lower down, or inside the vaginal canal. There's also a thing called epispadias, where it is higher up and could even, bisect, which means not as dramatically, cut the clitoris into two, it's in between and just forcing that to either side. Stuff like that. I don't know if that causes problems with painful penetration, which is what pap smears consist of. But yeah, that is also a thing. And hypospadias can cause painful pap smears because your urethra typically is not getting all the force of a speculum shoved into it, which is what is happening if it is too close to the vaginal canal or is inside the vaginal canal. And a lot of people with hypospadias deal with chronic urinary tract infections, but that's not a requirement. You don't have to go, oh, but I don't have them, or I don't think I've had them, so that means I don't have it. That's not how it works. It's just luck of the draw. Some people get them, other people do not. And you're extremely lucky if you don't. And so hypospadias, especially if it is really, really close to the vaginal canal opening or is inside of it, that can cause painful penetration because you're not supposed to, it's not designed for having things very roughly shoved against it or pressing against it like that. Okay, we're dying now, so we gotta go back. What else? Oh, there's also something called a sleeve hymen. Well, no, we'll start at the most basics. So there's a thing called, well, your hymen, if you have one, is a, oh, I just forgot the word. It's tissue, it's tissue that forms around and or over the vaginal opening. I don't know the evolutionary purpose of it. There's such a thing as an imperforate hymen, which is usually the one most people hear about because it can cause medical emergencies, where your hymen just completely covers over the vaginal opening without any holes. And that can cause medical emergencies if you menstruate and bleed, because the blood can be trapped in the vaginal canal and not have an exit. Something similar to this can also happen with babies, like newborn babies. I'm not entirely sure what it is that's getting stuck up there, but that can happen with babies too. So they'll have to perform an emergency hymenectomy that's actually medically required. If you're just not savvy to like medical lingo, ectomy usually just means like removal or stuff like so hymenectomy just means removing the hymen, stuff like that. Yeah, that can cause medical emergencies. There's also well, we'll just get, I guess I'll explain the words. Perforate, to perforate something means, and I might not be pronouncing imperforate correctly, because that's how I say that word, but perforate. To perforate something means you're poking a bunch of holes in it. So like, if you hold up a balloon and you stab it with a bunch of needles, you're perforating that balloon. So imperforate, or imperforate, doesn't matter, I don't think, means that something does not have holes in it. So an imperforate hymen is one that doesn't have holes in it, can block menstrual flow if there is menstrual blood. Not everybody with a vaginal canal menstruates. There's also different intersex variations that can make it so you do menstruate and you do have a vaginal canal, but the two things are not connected. Our health, we're such little low-level babies in this save. It's kind of funny. But we're already a level 11 somehow. I don't know what level we actually started out as. I was not looking. And I wasn't looking the first time I played the game either. I do like the leveling in this game though. It feels normal. So the imperforate hymen is one form, and then you can also have a micro perforate hymen, which is where it's like an imperforate hymen, but there are some small holes. So if you do menstruate and bleed and everything is connected, with a microperforate hymen you might see blood and go, oh yeah, okay, it's my first period. Time to get a tampon, and then you can't fit the tampon anywhere because there's tiny enough holes that will let some of the blood through, but not anything going in. Okay, we're good. We gotta go back again. So that's one hymen, well, those are two closely related hymen variations, and then they can cause painful pap smears or just make it flat out impossible. And then there's also, you know, I realize my phone has been charging this whole time. Let me unplug it quick. Oh, it's only at 97%. That's bullshit. Charge faster. Then there's also something called a sleeve hymen, which is sometimes called a redundant hymen, might have also had another, like a third name way back when, in the 1830s or whatever's. We're not talking, we are not getting distracted by the NPCs. Close. Actually, I should just buy more tapes in case we come across a thing. We're just gonna be stocking up on them every time we come here. Also, I do have a mod that gives me access to our tape storage at all times. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to catch 3 more traffic crab, and then we will transform into traffic crabs, and then we will have all the plastic we need once we level them up. Also, while we're just playing this, I will explain all the animations going on here, because it's a bit confusing, because they don't really give you an in-depth tutorial to explain what's going on here. So, like the animation-wise, that weird. We keep getting green things. I just got another green sticker. Okay. So when you hit record, it takes 2 turns to fully record a thing if you're going to succeed, and every time you do damage to that monster, your chances of recording it go up. Every time it does damage, or anytime damage is done to the person that's doing the recording, your chances will go down. So we'll see, you'll always start recording before your other team member attacks. That first time it shows us what the base percentage is. Since we hit it, it'll show us the updated percentage. Anytime something happens to change the chances, it'll show you it again. See, now that was the completion of the second term, so we got it. Because, why are we getting so many... Why am I getting so many rare things? This is ridiculous. What the heck? Okay. I don't understand what's going on. I have mods, but they're literally just for accessibility and letting me use, like, removing flashing lights and stuff. Especially from these battle animations and other things, and I don't know why we're getting so many things. I don't have any mods that are making that happen. Maybe it's because it's a new game and it knows I'm already playing on another save file? I don't know. Okay, we'll catch. We just gotta catch one more. See, we have a base chance of 65%, now we hit it, so that's going to go up again, so they tell us. And see, now it hit us, so our chance is going to go down, so it's going to show it again. But since we're at, like, over 100%, it's not going to go down this time. It might that time. Nope, we're still good. Because, I don't know, there's maybe a threshold of a certain amount of above 100% where it won't go down any further, but I don't know. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes doesn't. I don't know what the logic is because they don't really explain it to you. Okay, now we go rest. And then we'll switch everybody to traffic crabs and then we'll continue the lecture. I was looking at the fish things down there. In the base game, you can only access your tape storage when you're resting like this. No, give me that. Just name it that. Okay. Okay, now we'll just keep fighting traffic crabs forever while I'm talking. So, I don't really, there's not much information, like, in detail I can give besides just laying out the basics. But, okay, I was confused for a second, but nope, it's just nighttime. Interesting. I didn't know hitting a plastic, what? Why did I just get contact damage, or is that one of my... I gotta sneeze. Ow. I guess that's part of the rare smack we got. Oh, cool. We have a 28% chance of gaining contact damage. Alrighty. We can peel that. I'm probably just going to keep repeating myself multiple times, but oh well. So yeah. If pap smears are excruciating for you, if you feel the need to describe it as excruciating, torturous, traumatizing, anything like that, you are probably intersex. And the reason you were not told this, or told anything even remotely that could lead you to this conclusion, is not only medical misogyny, and doctors just fucking hating anybody that is female or perceived as female. By the way, male and female are not fucking real. They are social constructs, just like man and woman. A lot of trans medicalists really want to die on the hill of claiming they're real things. They literally are not. Hold on, let me get a drink. The sex binary is just as socially constructed as the gender binary. For most fucking history of colonization, they have in fact been the exact same goddamn thing, because that's what white supremacy is about. Nice. I like this move. Oh, the air conditioning turned on. I was like, thought it was suddenly raining, pouring rain. That would be fucking funny. I hope it does rain, because it's the 4th of July, and I'm pet sitting, and these dogs are scared of fireworks, so it would be really nice and convenient if it would pour rain so nobody can set off fireworks. They were doing it last night, and like a week ago. I don't know why. I guess they just didn't fucking check what the actual date was. But anyways, yeah, the idea, okay, let me put it simply. If the sex binary, the idea that there are only two sexes, male and female, if that were true, intersex people wouldn't exist. But we fucking do. If male and female are discrete, objective realities. Sarcastic quoting on that if you can't hear it. Okay, then exactly how do you fucking define those quote-unquote objective medical realities? Because everywhere you look would define female as having a vagina, having a uterus, having all this shit, and basing it on reproductive capability, I should say, not capacity. And yet, so what would you say that people who literally don't have a uterus, or don't have their vaginal canal connected to their uterus, or what? Why was the map was like vibrating for a second? That's just not how this works, because male and female have very specific definitions, but the people who want to pretend that they are objective, quote-unquote objective medical realities don't seem to grasp that if that were true, if there were only two sexes, male and female, then intersex people just wouldn't fucking exist. People like me just wouldn't fucking exist, because female is defined as having all this shit that is literally just not fucking true for me and for so many other people. Now, how did I get now? What was I saying that I got onto this topic? I don't fucking remember. I have ADHD, if you can't tell. But yeah, doctors, oh yeah, it was medical misogyny, that's what we were talking about, because they just don't fucking properly treat anybody that is perceived as female. Because of medical misogyny, patriarchy, and all of this shit gets horrifically worse if you especially are black, or otherwise not white, but especially black, because, like, literal fucking slavery era anti-black myths are still fucking rampant in the medical community, and it is literally fucking horrifying. And also because of, oh wait, I didn't actually explain it. Okay, so a lot of the anti-black myths will literally claim that black people, especially black women and people perceived as black women, regardless of your actual identity, they will literally decide that you are fucking lying about being in pain, and they will literally claim that black people feel less pain than white people, or even other non-black people of color. That's a literal fucking thing, and if you don't know anything about the history of gynecology as a field, you can look it up and be prepared to be fucking horrified, because it was literally white men experimenting on black women and black people that might have been trans, but we don't fucking know, and literally declaring that they didn't feel pain, so it was completely fine to medically torture them. And then this is also where the sex binary comes in, and the idea that there's only male and female and all this shit. There's so much on this topic to be covered. The long and short of it is the claim, yeah, no, that just needs its own fucking video, because there's literally so much, and I will just link a whole bunch of articles that I do expect people to fucking read in the description when I upload this, because some of them are literal, like, research papers and stuff, so they have more complicated language, but a lot of them are just casual, everyday English. At some point, if you want to learn, you do have to just start reading nonfiction. You have to start reading. You don't have to literally start with research papers. You don't have to do that. But you do just have to start reading nonfiction and seeking out information of this kind. So we gotta go back again. Do I move faster when I'm in here as opposed to outside? I think I do. Maybe. Maybe it's just a smaller space, so it looks like we're moving faster. So yeah, medical misogyny is a really, really fucking big reason that whoever performed your pap smear or other medical exam won't simply tell you what is actually different from you to what they were trained to deal with, because they're usually not trained on how to actually treat intersex people, if they are even told the word intersex at all. But the reason they won't tell you is, A, they weren't trained, so they have literally no fucking clue what to do. And the problem here is that a lot of doctors prioritize their ego over actually doing what is right for the patient, which is the exact opposite of how it's supposed to go. So, with me, the person who performed my fucking torturous and quite literally traumatizing pap smear clearly had no fucking actual training on what to do if you have an intersex patient. So she took a look at my anatomy, which is very blatantly, very, 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 very blatantly, just from an external view, not parasex, not typical, not quote-unquote normal. And she clearly had no idea what to do with this. But then, instead of stopping being a responsible adult, I'm literally the one who's not wearing pants. But she was too fucking embarrassed to say, hey, I actually don't know what to do in this situation. Let me get my superior or whatever. How about we hit pause on the invasive medical exam and discuss some things. But no, I am literally the one who was half naked, and she was the one who was too embarrassed to do the right thing. How does that sound? Does that sound like that's what's supposed to happen? That's not what's supposed to happen, but that's what happened. So she clearly saw my intersex anatomy, had no idea what to do, decided instead of doing anything reasonable or, what is the word I'm looking for besides responsible, like compassionate, like patient-centered, there's lots of words you could use, I'm sure. Instead of doing any of those things, though, she decided to just proceed full speed ahead without any pause, any consideration, and just decided to torture me, and then told me it was my fault. And she told me it was my fault because she said, oh, that only hurt because you weren't relaxed. Yes, I was, because literally everybody I'd spoken to and everything I saw online about pap smears told me over and over and over and over and over and over and over again that it wouldn't hurt. It would simply be a little embarrassing, maybe a little uncomfortable, as in embarrassing, or maybe just a little, I don't know. I don't even know what these fucking people mean when they say the word uncomfortable. No, that doesn't describe it. But I was completely and utterly relaxed. I made the mistake of trusting doctors to know what they were doing and to know when they didn't know what they were doing. Hey, traffic crab, you want to come down here? That one's just hanging out. It doesn't want to fight us. Yeah, I made the mistake of trusting doctors to have my best interests at heart, which is, like, literally their job description, but unfortunately does not apply to most of them. And if you speak to literally any intersex or disabled people, you'll hear this. And I know there's probably at least one doctor at some point in the entire history of time who's gonna watch this and might get offended, and it's like, okay, that's too fucking bad. If you think you care about patients, then you won't get mad about the statement that most doctors don't. Because that's just objective fucking reality for disabled and intersex people. Especially disabled intersex people. Doctors are supposed to have your best interests at heart. They are supposed to put your fucking medical safety and well-being over their need to look professional or what the fuck ever. But they usually don't. So, not only do we have the combined forces of medical misogyny and intersexism at play, where they're just not told what intersex variations are, and also it's medical misogyny that means that I almost fell in the water. Actually, I'll just show you. There's nothing bad happens if you fall in the water. If you can't swim yet, you'll just get teleported to wherever you fell off from, because they're nice. It's also medical misogyny and intersexism, or intersexist medical misogyny, if we combine them, that mean that a lot of the intersex variations that affect people with vulvas and vaginas just aren't fucking studied and aren't known about because patriarchy. Yeah. So you have those, and then you also have just the corruption of the medical system, where doctors don't actually prioritize patients' needs, and they would rather hurt a patient severely than just admit that they didn't know what to do. It's more important to most doctors to project a show of unearned confidence than it is for them to simply not fucking torture someone and then blame them afterwards. So you have all of these forces combining so that when you get a pap smear for the first time and it's fucking agonizing, doctors won't tell you you're intersex because A, they probably don't know what the word intersex means. B, if they know what the word intersex means, medical misogyny, intersexist medical misogyny, means that they probably weren't told what kind of intersex variation, about the fact that whatever intersex variations you have, they probably don't know that they exist. Yeah, well, wrong button. We did traffic jam instead. Alright, well that's not really gonna do anything, but alrighty. And on top of all of that, we have doctors that are just too fucking embarrassed to say that your anatomy does not match what they were trained on, and they aren't sure how it's gonna work. even though you are literally the one with your fucking pants down. Literally. You are literally the one who's fucking naked, and they are too embarrassed to do the right thing, which is just beyond fucking parody. So then, the result is that so many people out there who then get literally systemically fucking gaslit and victim blamed online and literally everywhere you fucking go, will have excruciatingly painful pap smears and other medical exams that we're told won't hurt, and then it's fucking agonizing. And then you go online afterward to look up what might have caused it, and it's just nothing but more of the exact same over and over again, which is why I'm making this video. Not that this is a very good video, because I kept getting distracted and we're just doing a bunch of stuff in whatever order, but I have ADHD and I'm autistic, and I know there's other people out there with ADHD who are also autistic who might enjoy just listening to me ramble while we do this. And by this, I mean fight traffic crab. The sky is kind of cloudy, so I really hope it rains. Everybody cross your fingers that it rains. You won't be watching this video for probably like an hour or more after it's actually recorded, but cross your fingers anyways. Let me get a drink. So yeah, those are some of the reasons that you get a painful pap smear, but then doctors don't tell you literally anything. They almost certainly will not tell you that you are intersex, even if they know what the word intersex is, even if they somehow miraculously know that your variation is intersex. They probably won't tell you you're intersex because doctors like systemically really do not want intersex people to exist, because we're seen as like a fucking blight on the real blah 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 blah. If you're lucky, they might tell you you have a disorder of sex development or disorder of sexual development or something like that, which is shortened to DSD. They might tell you you have a disorder of blah blah blah. They probably won't use the term intersex. They might tell you you have vaginismus, but again, that pretty much just translates in doctor speak and society speak to you're hysterical and it's your own fault. Because they won't perform actual tests to diagnose you with vaginismus, probably. They'll just say, oh yeah, you probably have that. Or you'll get somebody who's like, oh yeah, you probably it's probably psychosomatic and it's all in your head because maybe something happened when you were a kid that you don't even remember. That's a literal thing a gynecologist said to my friend, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're literally claiming that if your pap smear is painful, it's literally in your head from childhood trauma that you don't remember, and random gynecologists think this is just a thing they can casually say to people. Like, what in the fuck is that? So yeah. Yeah. Let me try and think of anything else that they'll tell you, or rather not tell you. So they'll probably tell you that it's your fault for not having your hymen broken because you're not having penetrative, by which they mean straight sex. That's what the person who gave me it said. Like, very clearly, like, glaring at me and saying, this wouldn't be my problem if you would just have straight sex. And it's like, that's not how that works either. So, like, you get this weird, you've heard of, like, every purity culture, the Christian form, which is also rampant in society, says, like, you're worthless unless you're a virgin, but then also you'll get to the doctor and they'll torture you, and then they'll be like, oh my god, why are you causing problems for me by being a virgin? And it's like, so which is it? Which is it? Can you guys, like, make up your fucking minds? I know they're not the same people, but it's just really goddamn infuriating. I am arrow ace and touch repulsed. That's not why, purity culture is not why I'm a virgin. It's because I have zero fucking interest in that. Especially with all of this shit going on as well. No fucking thank you. Not happening. But it's like, it's just ridiculous. Like, you literally cannot win in this society if you have a fucking vulva or vagina. Because, some sections will say you're evil for having sex. And then you'll go to the doctor, and they'll be like, oh my god, you're evil for not having sex the way I think you should. And it's like, it's ridiculous. You literally can't win. So yeah, if the doctor decides to... Oh, we're standing right in front of him. Hello. If the doctor decides to tell you literally anything, they will probably tell you that if you don't want them to torture you next time, then you need to start taking up manual dilation, which is where you get, like, medical grade dildos of increasing sizes, and you're supposed to use those and insert them into yourself to progressively widen your vaginal canal and the opening. And you have to literally never stop doing this, otherwise it'll all just go back to the way it naturally is. And this is, like, touted as the solution to painful pap smears. That you have to do this, like, for the rest of your life. Simply so that, like, once every 3 years you cannot get tortured by a doctor. Even though there's so many other fucking solutions. It's absurd. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like, here's a concept, doctors. Maybe you could give your patients pain medication? Maybe you could use some fucking local anesthesia? Literally anything besides telling patients, yes, you gotta buy these things, and I haven't looked them up, but I will presume right now that they're expensive. I'm assuming they're fucking expensive. Maybe they're not, but I fucking doubt it. Not if you're getting, like, safe ones, because I've seen sex ed online. I know you have to get silicone and shit because other stuff is, like, carrying toxins and shit and can't be disinfected or whatever. But why in the fuck has society decided it's okay to tell people that if they don't want to be tortured by a medical exam, then they simply have to go out and spend their own fucking money? Because don't think the doctors are going to give you this shit for free. They have to spend their own money and time doing something that they might absolutely not want to fucking do forever in order to not be tortured by a medical exam that usually takes like 5 minutes or less, when all that needs to be done is the doctors in those 5 minutes or less just using some local anesthetic of literally any kind, or just being responsible health care providers. Like, this is the level of intersexist medical misogyny we've got going on. And then you have people like fucking TERFs who will claim that any woman who has a vagina that has to be dilated is clearly fake. So they're saying that to hate on trans women, which is just fucking evil, because that's literally not how that works. But, like, the thing with bigots is their shit is always just bullshit. So the TERFs will claim anybody who has to dilate their vagina in order to keep it open is a fake woman and unnatural. And it's like, there's literally people born like that. That's not even a thing that only happens because of surgery, which has existed for, like, probably longer than most of these fucking people saying this shit have been alive. But also, there's literally so many intersex people who are literally born that way. But because TERFs are fucking bigots, they don't give a fuck about the logic. This is also, by the way, why TERFs, the shit they say as how to clock a trans woman is almost always based in racism as well. Wait, no, we don't want coffee. We're not gonna drink coffee. Give me the tapes. I think we can make a new character design now. We have like almost 30 tapes to catch stuff with. So let's make a new character. Also in the comments, you don't have to comment, but if you want to, I could give fewer fucks about the algorithm. You don't have to do anything to boost the algorithm. You don't have to comment. You don't have to like this video, whatever. But if you want to leave a comment, you can suggest some names for these NPCs, because I'm just going to keep the names as, oh, we can hit the randomize button. R. Okay, so that's a character. We'll hit. I'm giving myself time to take a screenshot when I'm watching the video later. R. I need names for all of these people for my fanfiction, because I need a bunch of OCs to fill in the background. I'm pausing each time so I can take screenshots. I like that little poncho. Okay, so we got a bunch of random ones. I'll make a non-random one quick. By the way, your favorite color determines your wing color, and I guess something else that I don't know about, but I don't know. I did not realize they only have 4 skin tones when I played it. But literally the first time I had, it's also weird that we don't have super duper pale to be a vampire. There's vampires in this game, by the way. Let's do that. Oh, no, there's 5. Oh, 5. Why are we going from pale to slightly darker, to slightly darker, to slightly darker, and then back to pale? That's weird. Okay, we'll go with that one. I have one of the little DLC thingies, so we get extra wings. We'll do that. I do like the little ribbon. I wish there were other hairstyles with hats. You can have cat ears. We'll do Princess Leia hair. I don't think we've done somebody with blue hair yet. Hair color, hair accessory color. Well, we don't have one of those. We can do grumpy. Sure, we'll just pick an eye color at random because it literally doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't know there were crop tops. Cute little poncho. I think I like the poncho. We can make it actually pom-pom colored. I don't think I can show you guys pom-poms yet because they're somewhere else. Actually, also, I forget what color pom-poms are. Okay, we'll do that. Oh, we can have a little tail. We can have a pom-pom tail. Okay, we're gonna have a pom-pom tail. Is there no gray? I wish... There we go. Let's have gold. Now we'll have gray shoes. I don't know who the heck this is. We'll just play as this for a bit. Grouchy Pom Bomb fan. I feel like we should change the wing color though. Let's change the wing color. Should I have the cat ears if we're playing as a little Pom Bomb costume? Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, now we'll go fight. This character needs a name and pronouns, and they do not need to be limited to she, he, or they. Those are just the ones limited in game, even though there's barely any voice acting and no good reason we can't just type our own in. Anyways, as we were saying like 10 minutes ago probably, I don't remember what I was saying. Because I have ADHD and I'm autistic, and you can deal with it. Yeah, so I think we were just talking about the fact that doctors will either not know jack shit. Oh yeah, we were talking about the whole the only solution that will be offered to you is you being told to go out and spend your own money on medical dildos and having to dilate your vaginal canal forever. Because if you stop, it will just go back to the way it naturally is. And it's just like, this is presented as the solution when it's literally not fixing any of the fucking problems. It's literally just forcing people to conform to society's ideas of what a real female is. When the actual solution would, like, unless somebody actually has a problem with actually wanting to do sexual penetration, then yeah, medical dilation is probably for them. For everybody else, that should not be the fucking presumed default. And the fact that that is pressured as the only fucking quote-unquote solution, instead of doctors just training on how to treat intersex people and using... Cool. Let's just use that just to see what it looks like. Makes us blue. Yeah, the fact that that is presented as the only solution, if you're offered any solutions at all, which you usually won't be at all, because they just want you to get you the fuck out of there as quickly as possible, that's just fucking ridiculous. And, yeah, instead of just doctors being trained on how to treat intersex people, actually giving a fuck about the fucking feelings of their patients, actually needing to supply pain medication, because, like, this is literally just systemic misogyny in a really fucking brazen form. Because if cis parasex men were expected to go through a procedure that is this painful for this many of them, or even mildly fucking uncomfortable. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I love the combat in this game. Not that you're seeing any of it, because I am just hitting smack without doing anything besides that time that I hit inflame on purpose for variety, but the combat and types system in here is really fun and complex. It's not just, this is strong against that. It's like they'll literally, it all interacts. It's fun. Yeah, if parasex cis men were expected to go through a procedure that is this fucking painful, they would be it would be fully covered by health insurance. They would be getting knocked out completely and nobody would ever expect them to go through it without pain medication, because patriarchy. But we live in a patriarchy, and the people who need fucking pap smears aren't parasex cis men, so we get the fucking short stick. The short end of the stick. I don't even know where that phrase comes from. And so we are given extremely torturous medical procedures that don't need to be torturous, but they are. And then we're told it's our fault that it hurts, because we're not good enough to be quote unquote real women, whether we want to fucking be in that category or not. It's ridiculous, and it's fucking evil. And you would think that the idea of, oh yeah, this is an extremely invasive medical procedure that can cause you literal agony. We won't supply you pain medication, though. You would think, if you're, like, generous, you'd think, oh, that's something that hasn't happened since, like, the 1800s, or that's like a medieval times thing. But no, it's 2026. And this shit's ongoing in 2026. Let me see if my phone is actually fully charged yet. I'm literally just going to... Okay, it's at 99%, so that's good enough. I'm literally just going to title this video Rambling About Blah Blah Blah, because that's what this is, and I don't give a fuck. Yeah, really, really long video short. If pap smears are painful for you, especially if they are extremely painful for you, especially if you've had more than one, and even when they use the smallest speculum, it's still painful for you, you are almost certainly intersex. And I'm sorry that nobody fucking bothered to tell you that. I'm sorry nobody bothered to fucking just say literally anything on the topic, besides telling you that it's your own fault and you just have to put up with it and you're not allowed to complain. Anybody who ever tries to tell you that misogyny and sexism, they don't exist anymore. Oh, we're past that. No. They're fucking lying. They're a privileged piece of shit, and we deserve to be able to smack them with traffic crabs. Also, by the way, on topic to the fact that we're playing Cassette Beasts, the Cassette Beasts wiki is just terrible, and I don't know why. There's like no information on it. This game came out in 2023, but the Wikipedia is fucking barren. I don't know why, which is also why I'm fighting all of these traffic crabs. So there's... I can then write down all the stuff that they dropped later. And also when you record tapes, which is why I have them all in my party so they're getting XP when we fight, you can recycle them to get materials. Oh wait, I can't swim yet. There's no point in going down here. I was gonna say, let's go in the sewers. Can't swim yet, though. Maybe I can get in there from here. Oh. This is probably a really bad... Okay, we're fine. There's a monster you can catch that'll give you like a super sprint that you can use to break those, but we don't have it yet. Oh, so close. We might be choking here. Okay. Okay. fail. We may have gotten ourselves stuck in here. Oh no. I think we can fast travel. Oh no, we can't. Kaylee, help us! We can't swim! So close. Nope. I'm sorry. Oh, well. Okay. Okay, it would help if my stamina were allowed to refill, I guess. Nope, too close. Nope, too close. So, okay, okay. I was afraid we were gonna get stuck there forever. Okay, we're good. But yeah, there are some, I'm sure, hypothetically, I'm sure there are some parasex explanations for having an excruciatingly painful pap smear, but none that I know of. And none that doctors will tell you about fucking either. Because if vaginismus causes that much pain, and then that should inherently just be a fucking intersex trait if it's not something that everybody has, and if almost everybody who gets told they have it does in fact just have other intersex variations, like vaginal hypoplasia, hypospadias, any other form of vaginal atresia, all of that. Like, yeah, vaginismus. If you get told you have vaginismus, you should just consider yourself intersex, because that's just the fucking, this is the category that doctors will throw you into, tell you you're a hysterical woman, and all that shit. And it probably means you're intersex, because parasex people's pap smears aren't painful. Maybe they're a little embarrassing, maybe they're a little uncomfortable, whatever the fuck that is supposed to mean in this situation, because none of the people who ever claim it's might be uncomfortable, they never bother to define what they mean by that. Parasex people's pap smears are not excruciating. Yeah. Not sure what else to say for this video, because I think I've covered pretty much all of it in an extremely rambling manner. We can make some more characters now. There's a... Okay, it's either a mockingbird or an eagle outside, but it just... never mind, it's a mockingbird. We'll just continue this video until I have these traffic crab tapes at 5 stars, and we can recycle them to see how much we get, because yeah, we're me and okay. Also, the controls for this game, let me close that quick. The controls for this game, right now I'm pushing A to go to the side, I'm pushing D to go to the other side, I'm pushing S to go down here, I'm pushing W to go up here. And if you know me, you know my computer's actual keyboard is fucked up, so I can't use W, S, X, or 2. So this is with my... Can you hear me clicking? This is my extra keyboard that I literally have to plug into my laptop. Oh! Actually, wait. I can show you guys all the cool bootlegs. Yeah. Oh, they gave us some coffee. Thanks, guys. We can put in codes. Let me see if I remember them. Year of horse. There might be spaces, I don't remember. Cool. We're getting a bunch of bootlegs now. Okay, since I almost forgot about this. Bootlegs in this game are the equivalent of shinies in Pokemon. Xmas 2025? Yeah, oh, no. That's not it. Maybe it's actually spelled out. Maybe it's just 2020. No. I gotta look up the codes quick. I know 1 million is one. When they had 1 million people buy the game. Yeah, there is an official Cassette Beasts wiki. It's shit though, but you can go to the mailbox page, and they'll have a list of the mailbox codes and which ones still work. So we gotta do survey, thanks. From when they did a survey. I'll just show you these once we get them all. Anniversary 2. I took my hands away from the keyboard for 2 seconds. And I've hit my wrong buttons. Okay, the button for the blatantly Christmas one was holiday treats. I mean, it is better that they're pretending it's at least not about Christmas instead of just doing Christonormativity, but still. Yeah. So these are all, it's July 4th, 2026. These are all of the survey codes that still work right now. You can type them in. There were other ones that are older, but they don't work anymore. So now I can show you all the ones we just got. There's a bootleg category here somewhere. There we go. So these are all the bootlegs we just got, which means they are special recolors, and in this game, having bootlegs is actually, like, materially beneficial. It's not just, ooh, pretty colors, or collecting. They actually help you get, the moves are called stickers, and you can trade them around and stuff. It's not like a one-time thing. It's a thing that exists physically in the game, I guess. And, you can have rare stickers, like this one. See, it has the bonus of critical hit on type advantage. Push the right buttons. This one works for +1 turn and heals 3% of your max health when you use it. Stuff like that. They show up as like green. It's not very visible, but they gotta do something. We'll show you this one. See, this one's blue, so that means it's got 2 different things. So this is shared with allies, which means if this is in our, if we're fighting as this one, all of our tapes that we are currently have active will also get the status effect, which raises your ranged and melee attack whenever you get burned. And this one can also be used for any type of tape. Because some stickers only work for certain types or certain species and stuff like that. Alright, let's make a new character. Also, these character designs, you can play as them. You can't copyright pixels in somebody else's game, so feel free to pick stuff. Let's do, I guess, I don't know. We'll do like a bunch of white. The opposite of goth. We'll just pick skin color at random. I have my eyes closed. I don't know if holding the button down does anything. Do that one at random. Okay. Dumb enough. We'll do fairy wings, cat headband. Let's pick some hair. I wish they had like a buzz cut option. Because I have a buzz cut and I want a buzz cut option, but there's no buzz cut option, so we'll just be bald. Also, I wish you could. What? Whoa! There's all these hats I didn't know about. Okay, I apparently haven't scrolled far enough. Cool. Okay, okay. We gotta look through all of these now. We get a cute little beret. A flower. Band sheep hair. Spikes and goggles. I feel like that might be a Digimon reference. Cool. We can get some fox ears. A bow with the band sheep hair. Ponytails. Or pigtails, I should say, I guess. We can have a baseball cap. And a fringe over one eye. Oh, okay, I guess that's different from the baseball cap. Okay, interesting. Oh, we can have half and half. We can have a jester's hat. We can have a little top hat with rings. Oh, okay. Top hat with short hair, top hat with ponytails. Traffic crab. We're gonna have to go with traffic crab because we're just catching traffic crab. Traffic crabs are like grayish. I don't know. Let's see if they got a gray. There. We have a traffic crab on our head. We're gonna pretend that. Should we have round spectacles? They look like goggles. I don't know. Let's change this color to like, I don't know, something just so we can see what's going on. I think we'll just do plain. Eye color literally doesn't matter. Face color doesn't matter if we don't got anything. I think we'll make this also traffic cone colored. So we got other stripey options. I feel like we should do that one, but I don't know. Ooh, no wait, this one really looks like a traffic cone. Okay, guess let's go with tall boots, I guess. Don't really see a difference. Shoe color, we'll make it orange. We'll just be named Traffic Crab Fan. Okay, we're gonna go fight some more traffic crab. Because we're gonna keep going with this video until until they're all level 5 and then we can recycle them. So yeah, you can absolutely let me see. Getting a drink quick. You don't have to identify as intersex just because you have an intersex variation. It's entirely opt-in, but you can. I love this traffic crab hat. Also, I am gonna suggest for the if you're interested in this game, which you're not seeing much of from me just doing this, by the way. It's a lot more fun than just this, because I'm just level grinding and literally just mindlessly fighting the lowest level enemies in the game. There is a sequel that has been announced. It's going to be called Cassette Beasts 2002. I don't think there's a release date yet. But I am going to suggest that they put in wheelchair options for player characters, because as you go through the game, you literally transform into any monster that you catch. And like with our wings, you can just use powers from that monster at will. So there's literally nothing stopping them at all from including wheelchair sprites for characters. And then if you want to jump with the fucking wheelchair, you just like give us a monster at the start of the game with like a spring on the bottom, or like tentacles that it can just lift the whole entire chair physically upwards with, or something. Like, it's so easy. You literally just gotta make some kind of cool fun monster animation that lifts your wheelchair up. Same with crutches, canes, all that stuff. These are really simple little animation, pixel animations, comparatively to other forms of art and animation. So, and especially because in the fights, we're mostly just in monster form, unless we're actively losing the fight, that is. So there's no reason not to do it. Like, everybody here can transform into a monster. We get wings. We can fly. Well, we can glide. Everybody else can fly, just for gameplay restraints. But still, there's no reason not to have characters in wheelchairs, and no reason not to let us, the player character, use a wheelchair, or crutches, or a cane, or anything like that. It's just gotta be little simple pixel animations. If I knew more about modding, I would even take a crack at making one, but I don't know how to mod. Presumably, all you'd technically have to do is like draw all the different animations, which there aren't that many. Like, maybe I'll look it up and I'll try to do it, but I don't know how to mod. Hopefully it's easy. But yeah, the next game, and this one, with updates, should let you use a wheelchair for free. Because some of the wings and hats and stuff I have, I think the traffic crab hat is from a DLC pack I bought. But yeah, no reason not to. All the reason to. It's Disability Pride Month. I think I forgot to buy more tapes the last time we were there, but we're good anyways. So, yeah. I kind of forgot to address, like, the whole confusing thing because the word intersex, when most people hear it, either they have absolutely no idea what that means, or they have the idea that it means you have both, by which most parasex people are imagining completely, fully functioning, fully developed penis, testicles, and vagina and vulva, and that's just not how it works. Intersex people can have ambiguous genitalia, which can appear as a mix of the two, but it's not like the porn categories that people imagine. It's not, you have a fully developed, fully sized, fully functional vagina and vulva and penis and testicles. You can't, that's just not how that works. But then the word intersex, inter, literally means like inside or between. So that can confuse people but how can having XYZ be intersex? Because that's just not, quote-unquote, being female enough. That's not a mixture of being male and female, but that's not how the word intersex works. It's not that literal. You can be intersex in so many ways, and it doesn't require being in between by any definition. Like, there's lots of variations that aren't like that. There are some that are like that, but that's not all of them, and the idea that that's all that there is just parasex bullshit. Also, it's really fucking ridiculous. If you try to look up hypospadias in people with vulvas, there's like zero information, zero modern information. You can find information if you read literal gynecology textbooks from 1895 and be prepared to deal with all the racial phrenology really blatantly going on in there. But for modern day shit, you would think that modern day doctors just don't know that it exists, which is ridiculous and is just more medical misogyny and intersexist medical misogyny. Like, to a ridiculous degree. Why the fuck was there all this information on this basic intersex variation in 1895, and then doctors today are just like, huh? What's that? We're not gonna talk about that at all. What are you talking about? It's like, how does that fucking happen? What the fuck? Yeah. Now, the Wikipedia page for hypospadias includes diagrams of hypospadias not only in penises, but in vulvas, and you're welcome, because I had to make those and add them myself. Yeah. If you know how to draw stuff, and you know how to draw medical diagrams and stuff, you can and you should draw things for under-researched medical or under-researched intersex variation, and you should put them on Wikipedia or the intersex wiki if Wikipedia won't let you for bullshit reasons, so that other intersex people can actually find information about themselves and their variation, because the only other option is trying to just look it up generally on the internet, and most of the results is literally just medical gore that's way too easy to find. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that doctors need to, like, share info and research papers and stuff, but, like, why is all of that just completely that easy to find with a single search? That's not really how that should work. What is all of our XP at? So up here, the stars shows the level of the tape. 5 stars is the max, and then you can remaster it, which is like evolving in Pokemon. And then once you remaster it, it goes back to 0 stars, and then you level it up to 5 stars again, and then you can remaster it again if it's got that amount of things and stuff like that. And when you remaster... trying to move the mouse. I don't want to move. Mouse, what are you doing? You can recycle tapes. I'll catch this one and I'll show you. I'll just show you what I mean. Oop. What am I doing? Okay. We got 41, so we can use one to record this one, and then I'll just show you what I mean by recycling tapes. This is mostly about intersex variations, but also like 1% about Cassette Beasts game mechanics. Okay, so I'll recycle that when we beat this fight, and then I'll show you what that means, and then blah blah. And like I said, I do have a mod that lets me use the tape storage wherever I am, because otherwise you can only use it at camping spots, which includes the cafe, but I kept forgetting what I wanted to do, so then I would have to keep going back and forth, and it doesn't add, like, to the challenge, it just adds to me forgetting to do things. So we will... You don't have to peel the stickers, but I just got used to doing that first. So we will recycle this tape, and you don't have to peel the stickers off. They'll just go into your inventory automatically. So we'll peel... Oh, we got... See? So we recycled this tape, and we got 24 plastic, and we got a move, which is uncommon. I don't know why that keeps happening. We're just getting lucky, I guess. So this one has plus 17% accuracy for... Oh, so that's funny. So it'll lower your enemy's accuracy, and it'll boost yours. by 17% for every spot you could have a sticker but you don't, and it increases by 1 plus duration. I think most status moves work automatically for 3 turns, so this one will work 4 and give your opponent less accuracy. And then whenever we get these guys to level 5, or even remaster them and get them all the way maxed out, then they will give us way more plastic than 24. And also, we'll just catch this one to show you. They'll drop more plastic if they don't drop a move. It's all just random chance. But yeah, by catching a traffic crab, you are like pretty much guaranteed to get more plastic than you put into the tape that you're using to catch it. So it's a really good investment. I love our traffic cone dress. Because we'll also get plastic by defeating it. So we got 4 plastic from defeating it. So we got 4 plastic from defeating it. And, oh, I hit the wrong button. And then we got 17 plastic from recycling it, plus, why is this happening? Is there a secret new game plus that gives you good stickers? And then we also got Inflame Uncommon, which gives us plus 4% accuracy per slot, and it gives you, and the damage will be based on your ranged defense if that is higher than the base attack power. So we'll give that to somebody. Well, we don't even need it. And I'm just gonna peel this because this version of Traffic Jam. Oh, no, this is. Now I'm confused. So, where did the XP go? I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Oh, so we just, okay. Give me that. So the one I named 6 XP didn't even have that one. Okay. Okay, now Kaylee will be getting extra XP. Okay, failure. So, yeah. So, yeah. Not sure what else to say, besides we'll just keep doing this until we get them to level 5. For science. I'll do a rest and then we can go a little bit further afield to get more XP per thing, maybe. For the people out there, like me, who like collecting pride flags, for everything that applies to you, there is the intersex flag, which is gold or yellow, just solid yellow with a purple ring in the center. For vaginal atresia, there are a few different flags. Off the top of my head, There's one. Oh, we already rested. We're resting again, I guess. Okay. There's one. I am going to attempt to describe it from memory. Probably gonna fail. Wait, we got my tapes. Got my tapes. And I guess we can change our outfit again. Oh, wrong button. Random characters. Ooh, I like that. I like blue. So yeah, please suggest names for these characters. Fancy, I like this. Yeah, there's a vaginal atresia flag. I think it's maybe dark gray, maybe bluish gray. And then from, I can't tell left from right, from like from the right side, there's a triangle that's maybe black, really dark blue. I can't remember it. This was made by DHDDS mods on Tumblr. I might be saying that wrong. I have dyslexia. And then there's one that literally came to me in a dream last night. It was on a billboard in the dream. And then it's like diagonal stripes that aren't all the same size. So the middle biggest stripe is pale purple, like from the queer flag. If you've ever seen the queer chevron flag, it's like a background of cream with 2 chevrons of dark purple and then light purple, or lavender purple, I guess. So the vaginal atresia flag from my dream, most of the big middle diagonal flat stripe is pale purple, and then up in the right corner there's a smaller diagonal stripe of dark purple, and then there's a gold eclipse. Like if you imagine an eclipse, the gold is where you would see the sunlight at the edges of the round shadow. Pom bomb, I can show you guys pom bomb. They're cute. Here's a pom bomb. We're gonna get a cool status effect. Oh, so the rest of our attacks are probably gonna miss. Yep. Alright. So that is what things like... I mean, we're not gonna be fighting a bunch of pom-pom, but... this is where moves like water coating that changes your type to water would come in handy. That's probably actually designed specifically for pom-pom, because they are in this area. But we're not... I guess we can have it. No point in not. Now I guess I'll have to try and find another pom bomb to show you how that works. Well, we're getting XP anyways. But yeah, so okay, I will actually describe the flag this time from my dream. Diagonal stripes, they are going from the top right. Or no, I can't, what is it called when you can't tell left from right? They're going from the top left to the bottom right. They are not all the same size. The middle stripe is the biggest, and it is pale purple. We just jumped really high. Pom pom. The middle stripe is pale purple, and it's the biggest. Up in the top right, we have dark purple, and then there's a gold eclipse there. And then the bottom left is a tiny little stripe of icy gray blue. And in the dream, the big pale purple stripe it represents the typical expectations that we are defying. The smaller dark purple stripe represents vaginal atresia. Yep, we got that. So you see how using the move water coding goes from us having a hard time even hitting fire types to now, as water types, temporarily, we will extinguish their power and make them weaker. And we do double damage, I think. Maybe not double damage, but extra damage. It's cool. It's fun. And it gets even more complicated. And so yeah, the eclipse has been used by multiple people, like, what is the word I'm looking for? Convergently, like without being aware of it, to represent intersex variations that are on the agenital spectrum, which is what it is called. It doesn't literally mean you don't have genitalia. It can, but it means like any intersex variations that hide or cover or block the genitals in any way and make them like harder to find, or mean that they're not as easy to see and I guess work with as a word, as a phrase, as typical. Which vaginal atresia, sleeve hymens, vaginal atresia, I can't remember if I explained this part, but vaginal atresia, atresia. Oh, this person will give us something. I don't remember what they give us, but they gave us some rewinds, which are pencils. Thank you! We're going the wrong way, so Kaylee said, stop goofing off. Well, we're not actually doing a quest yet, Kaylee, so we're just gonna wander this way. Yeah. Vaginal atresia is the umbrella term that includes all of the things that make the vaginal canal, or the vulva, or the vagina, all of that stuff just like smaller or harder to find than typical. It includes like all the stuff I've talked about, the sleeve hymens, the imperforate hymen, microperforate hymen, vaginal hypoplasia is... There's also more stuff I forgot to mention. There's things called vaginal septum, which is where there is an internal, like, wall, thin, usually, not like massive, but there's an internal wall that can, like, be inside the vaginal canal. It can either be, like, going across horizontally and, like, making it blocked off in the middle or the bottom, top, stuff like that. And there's also one that can go, like, up and down it, which can actually split the vaginal canal into two separate sections, which is literally known as a doubled vagina. But unlike, again, like porn categories people might be imagining, it doesn't mean you have two fully sized, fully functioning vaginas. It means you have two smaller ones. And all of these things are under the umbrella term of vaginal atresia, which I might be pronouncing wrong. I haven't heard anybody say it out loud, but I presume that's how you say it, atresia. Yeah, all of these count. And even more that I haven't mentioned here, because I'm sure I'm forgetting, and I'm sure there's ones I don't know about yet. Yeah, so that was the flag from my dream. So, tiny stripe of icy blue at the bottom. And in the dream, that's like meant to represent all the erased genders of people who have vaginal atresia, like me. I am non-binary. There's also trans men. There's multigender people, all of these people, but society likes to just force anybody who has a vagina of any kind unless you have the wrong kind, TM, for transmisogyny purposes or other intersexism purposes. They like to assume that if you have the quote-unquote right kind of vagina, even if it's not the quote-unquote right kind, it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up. You'll just be presumed to be a woman and identify as a woman, and then that's not how it fucking works. So this flag from my dream was even taking that shit into account. So the icy blue stripe at the bottom, and the fact that the larger stripe is the pale purple that represents typical expectations. In the dream, it represents the fact that we are being pushed literally to the margins, but we still exist and are still fighting for recognition. I lucid dream a lot because I used to have reoccurring dreams as a kid of falling from the sky, and I would constantly wake up, like bolt upright in bed, anytime, like right the second before I hit the ground. And this enraged me to no end as a kid, because I also have we're going the wrong way. Sorry, Kaylee. We're doing stuff. We got this. Kaylee said, stop wandering around. We're supposed to be doing stuff. No, we're not. I also have delayed sleep phase syndrome, which means my circadian rhythm is permanently not at the right time for where I live and what capitalism demands. So it would always take me for fucking ever to fall asleep to begin with, and then I would fall asleep, and then I would have that dream that would wake me up, which meant I was getting even less sleep. So it just literally, this went on for I don't even know how long, but it just kept making me more and more mad until I just like through sheer force of will forced myself to stay asleep long enough to actually hit the ground in the dream. And then, like, I'm not fucking lying. And then I was so excited in the dream that I threw my arms into the air in the dream and yelled, I did it! And then I woke myself up by smacking my arm into the fucking wall. Like, this could be in a fucking comedy, and it's what actually happened. So I literally taught myself to lucid dream as a kid just so I could stay the fuck asleep. So, yeah, that's how I'm able to remember so many details from my dreams, and just years of effort of putting in the effort to consciously remember details when I wake up. It takes a lot of practice, doesn't work every time. But if you want to lucid dream, just start writing down anything you can remember from your dreams, stuff like that. And then maybe you'll just have dreams you can actually remember more often and stuff like that. So, yeah. And you can see we're getting wood from these monsters as well, so we can just keep resting here. We'll fight this traffic crab, then we'll rest a bit. Also, the music in this game, I have it muted, otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear me talking. But the music is so fucking good. Maybe I will turn the music on so you guys can hear it when this fight's over. The battle music is so fun. We'll do 30%. We gotta rest first. Where'd all the monsters go? Usually if you wander this way, there'll be some over here. I think the game is trying to give me a message. I guess we'll continue this way a little bit, but we're not going super far. As long as there's... Okay, there's still traffic crab over here. Those are our main targets. Yeah, the battle music gets really fun, especially in boss fights. Also, I'll show you what happens if you set a plastic type on fire. I think I did that by accident already, but, yeah. Well, this won't last very long. Yeah, it turns on purple. Nothing special happens if you use fire on a poison type. Except for getting burned. Oh, okay, never mind. The game immediately proving me wrong. Ignore what I just said. Okay. I forgot about that. Okay, so I'm completely wrong. So, in other words, Traffic Crab is like the perfect monster to have in this area because it's like, it's got flame attacks, it's got regular attacks. That's cool. Traffic Crab, perfectly evolved for this niche. We got the tapes almost to level 4, or level 5 I should say. Oop, failing. Let's fight Pom Bomb, they're just so cute. We'll record this one, so we got one, because they're adorable. Also, the reason I haven't been saving the game is because there's an autosave feature, and you can't, like, saves work weirdly in this game, and I don't know why, but you can't, like, actually reload saves, because it just autosaves so often. Yeah, it's weird. Even though saving at strategic points and reloading that save when you fail is a time-honored just pixel RPG tradition. but not expecting. Okay, yeah, Kayla was telling me to go over here. Hit the switch. This is a shortcut. So now we can be down here and come up here. Look how fabulous we look. Give me my wings back. Said no. Kaylee's tape can almost get remastered. Yeah, but I am absolutely not an expert on intersex variations. But if you have questions, I guess feel free to ask and I will do my best, or I will point you in the right direction if I know what that direction is. Yeah, we can fight you. Yeah, traffic crab is like just the best thing that could exist here. Like, traffic crab is perfectly designed to deal with palm bomb and carniviper. I don't know if any of these things are supposed to be eating each other, but if we pretend there's an ecosystem, traffic crab's got it covered. Yay! Oh, we got 3 of them leveled up. They also, your tapes get stickers every time they get up a rank for the tape, and once they are 5 stars, they continue to get XP, even if you're like, they're fully remastered, aka evolved, and at their master thing, they'll still continue getting XP, and every time they go up a rank, they'll get another sticker, which you can apply to anything. So yeah, cool stuff. Go back to rest. When you remaster tapes at campsites or the cafe, which counts as a resting spot, when you rest, yep, so Traffic Crab has 2 options for remastering. It has 2 different paths. It can either be melee defense or ranged attack. I think we'll go with melee defense, because most things here seem to be, well, I guess we can just do both. I'll show you what they both look like. And this one will just do it right now. So we still got 3 more to get to level 5 and then we'll end the video. And I can also, well, no, I'll just keep the extra XP thing on Kaylee's, which is why she's gotten remastered before me, because she's getting more XP from the special sticker she's got. Let's see what we got. Switch that out. So now we have the higher accuracy. Okay. Not sure what else to say on the topic of intersex, pap smears, all that bullshit. So we're just play this. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find a bootleg in the wild. We hit jump too soon. Maybe we will get lucky and we'll find a bootleg at the same spot that I found a bootleg when I first played this, because that was over here. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be... I don't know. Should I show you guys the first boss fight? Maybe we'll do that after we get all these. Okay, here's the new plan. We'll get to level 5 for all of our, or rank 5 for all of our tapes, and then we'll do the first boss fight. And then everybody who decides to stick around through this 2.5-hour video can have more insight into the gameplay. Oh, cool. I didn't know that happened. Not entirely sure why it broke afterward, though. See, the battle system's so complex, I'm not even sure how all of it works. I just go with it. Yeah, so that we'll get these to rank 5, and then we'll do the first boss fight. We're gonna be really over leveled for the first boss fight. Also, if you hit a move, you can then hit escape to go back if you haven't, like, started your turn properly yet, so that's nice. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Unless these walls are super weak and are only lasting, like, 2 turns? So close. Yet so far. Thank you. This water glitch you're hearing right now, it's because this area over here can sometimes have water in it, but I've noticed the audio glitching, so it's doing the water effect even when it's not actually flooded. We're going up here for slightly... Oh, nope. Kaylee said no. Alright. Okay, we'll fight stuff over here then, I guess. Give me the XP so we can go fight the boss and show everybody! Kaylee has gone up another level or rank of tape before we do with her 6% bonus XP. So that's pretty fun. Let me see if there's another XP thing I can get. Nope, we don't have any XP things yet. I will catch this one because that can help us get more stickers. Nope, not special ones, but we have it now. So close. Probably like 2 or 3 more fights. Especially if there's more than one monster. Oh my gosh, we're like 1 XP away from... Oh my gosh. 1 XP away. Come on, before we die. Okay, now we can do it. Let me rename it to... Now we go to sleep. Remaster these. And do the first boss fight. So you all get a really random education about intersex variations, and you get to see a bunch of level grinding and a boss fight. Since we got the flamethrower. I guess we'll try to keep it relatively even, so we got that. We'll just do... Now we'll go do the main quest. Or at least part of it. The screen's supposed to be shaking during that because there's an earthquake, but I have it turned off with accessibility because it was giving me a headache. So imagine that happening. Well, I hit the wrong button there. This isn't normal? Also, I missed this the first time, which is shameful for me, but my twin found this. I don't think traffic crabs can use that. I mean, we may as well just find out. I don't think they can. Nope, they can't. I'll read it out loud, I guess. Is that you, Mordred? Come closer, child, so that I may see you one last time. This is... The long conflict has drawn to an end. I am afraid he has defeated me truly this time. Cass, I think this is an archangel. We need to leave now. This isn't like the other monsters. We are not safe here. And then I just ignore her and say, who are you? Or what happened to you? We'll say, what happened to you? No, you are not my kin. You come for me once again, sword in hand? Oh no. The Archangel Morgante, Broken Spirit. Also, we're over leveled for this. Oh, yep. Unlike other monsters that you can just read it. It looks really funny because we're both lobstacles, but yeah, hold on. We just look hilarious because we are two different lobstacles combined, but you confuse literally any monster in this game with any other, with your companions. Uh-oh. This is just much less dramatic right now because we are over leveled by a shit ton. And also we're both lobstacles for traffic crab evolution, so we just kind of look silly. Enough, my time is drawing to an end. Why have you come to this wretched place? I want a way off this island. Not really though, it's pretty cool here. I see. There is a way. There are none who know the path but I. I require a vessel and you require a guide. Rebuild my strength and in turn I shall lead you from this land. Vessel? Wait. Vessel? Very well. Hear my song. It's very disappointing that, well, maybe, I haven't finished the final quest yet on my other ones. Maybe it does actually get sung at some point, but these parts, it's disappointing that it's not actually sung. I mean, I collapsed fully to the ground, Kaylee. What do you mean supposedly? Did she not just do this? Whatever. Pretend this is normal gameplay and we're not literally level 22. That fight is supposed to actually be difficult. Okay, so that'll be the end of this video, and I guess I'll just play on this character / characters because we just keep changing. Let's go give this person a name. Oh yeah, okay, hold on, we gotta do this. Don't make me tell you again, Harbor Town won't fall to you, bloodsuckers! Blah blah blah. Tisk tisk, so unreasonable. Crawl back into the darkness you came from, or you'll have to go through me. I fought your kind before and won. You want a demonstration? We shall leave for now. But in time you shall understand that we know what is best for you all. Tell the rest of your kind that this town is protected by Eugene. Let me know if those creeps bother you again, ma'am. And whatever you do, don't invite them into your house. That's what they want. I will keep that in mind. Thank you for intervening, young man. I forgot we literally get to meet Eugene immediately. How convenient. Oh. Hey, sorry you had to see that. The name's Eugene, which I guess you know because I just yelled it at those guys. I'm Cass, which is the default name. Always nice to meet a new face around here, Cass. Who were those people? I won't trouble you with the details, but they don't belong in this world. Bold statement when nobody here does. Blah 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 blah. My voice is getting tired from reading, so you could just read it. Okay, now let's go pick a name for this character, I guess. I don't know. What happens if I just type into DuckDuckGo cool name generator? No, I hate generative AI, it's ruined the word generator. I'll just look up cool non-binary names. Just give me a list of names. Gosh. Ooh, that's cool. We'll name this person Fable. That's a cool name. Yeah, we can jump on the bed and carry around a vase on our head. It makes me question who lived in this house before us, though, because literally, whose house was this? Alrighty, I think that's it for the video. Look at this cool-ass character. What color are my wings? I think they're blue. We gotta jump with our wings. Or I guess I can just go into the character maker menu and take a screenshot. Yeah, I love this outfit. Alright, so this is what this character is going to look like from now on. So 7. Alrighty, that's at the end of the video. Feel free to ask any questions. If I don't know the answer, I will point you in the right direction if I can. Bye-bye.